I'm going to show you how to use what we call the parent and child setup on Property CRM. So here we have a property called Parent of 46 The Oak. So this is the property that will um, contain all of the transactions for each of the individual properties. We then have number 1, the Oaks, and number 2. So in order to take the rental payments in for these properties, we treat them as we would every other one. We have the tenancy set up as I had shown in a previous video, and the rent and deposit are due to be paid. So I'm going to say that the tenant here in number 2, first of all, has paid, and I'll just hit create as I would in any other tenancy. So this property will look the same and can be managed the same with outstanding transactions and everything else that might go through it, as you would a normal tenancy on the system. So we go in, take our rent payments, take our deposit payments as normal. Would it click here to take the rent payment in? And as I'll show you, they can be dealt with individually or they can be dealt with under the parent. So here in number 2, the tenant has paid the rent and it's sitting here in the landlord account as normal. I'm also going to do the same here in number 1, and we'll say that they have paid for October. Okay, and hit create. And I'll do the same then for the deposit and hit create. So as I said, you can generate your statements, have outstanding transactions, and everything will be on the landlord account as usual. The difference with parent and child is that as well as having the transactions here in the individual properties, we also have them here in the parent. So if I refresh the screen here in the parent property to update it with what has just happened, I can see that the rent and the fees for number 1 and number 2 have become here in the parent, and I can manage those as one lump sum to the landlord, or from the parent, or I can do it from the individual properties if he would like me to separate them. So if I click on pay to landlord here and just hit create, I can pay the landlord the full amount for both properties in one go. I have the detail of what rent and what fees are per property, and when I go to print and create a statement, he will get a breakdown of exactly what it is we have done. So if I hit submit, the statement will then show the landlord exactly what it is we have taken the rent in for number 1 and number 2, the date it was paid, and the amounts, and the fees will also be detailed, excuse me, for number 1 and number 2, including the VAT. So it just allows you to manage a block of apartments in one go for one landlord.